Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to KMS Reloaded, episode 11. Little campfire edition as the sun sets. All right, let's get it. We got a lot to get to. Thursday's episode starts off, ticket day, of course. Congratulations to Kirk again, selling out a show in Portland, Maine. I mean, to the point where they wanted to add a second show. And then we find out that No Exit 4 is pulling the Diva card, making crazy demands of KMS. We'll see how this plays out, but No Exit 4, they're not good enough to be making these types of demands, so good luck with that shit, No Exit 4. They're getting a little bit too big for their britches. Then the guys talk about Coolio dying in his 50s of natural causes. I'm sure there was no drugs related. I'm sure there wasn't a lifetime of doing drugs. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. So at this point in the show, the tickets go on sale and Dave starts freaking out. He starts getting really nervous. You could tell he's panicking. In all actuality, now that we know, it went pretty smooth. So I gotta say, Dave did a great job of sending those emails out and letting everyone else do all the work. So great job by Dave. Watching this part of the show after the fact, when you see that everything ends up going pretty smoothly, it's just funny to see Dave just a fucking mess. Dave's just an absolute shit show. Dave starts yelling at Kirk to calm down, everybody calm down. And it's like, dude, everyone is fucking calm, Dave. You're the only one freaking out right now. Dave leaves himself an out where if it doesn't go well, I mean, it's not up to him. So if it goes well, he's gonna take credit. And if it doesn't go well, then it's Ticketmaster's fault, it's State Theater's fault, whatever. Typical Dave Cullinane. It's at this point of the show where Dave literally receives an email live from the State Theater that basically says that they're not happy with the fact that Kirk Minahan's calling them idiots. Like Kirk said on the show, you say it one time, it's a joke. You say it the second time, and now you're basically saying, yeah, I don't like this shit, fuck you. You know, State Theater, hopefully they're just playing around. Hopefully they have a sense of humor. Then we learn that Kirk Minahan will be hitting the post at a radio show, I guess the Friday before the live show, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. So then the guys start talking about the little controversy from last week where Kate from Barstool Sports, she brought strippers into the office and they were giving guys lap dances. Kirk has said numerous times that he doesn't care, and I hate to use this example, but I think it's a good one, because I know how easy it leaves me open, especially as I just shit on Jerry for this a couple episodes ago. Kirk says he doesn't care about kids going to a drag show, for example, because the people aren't naked, and it's not really that big of a deal. He doesn't believe it's corrupting these kids' minds, and while he doesn't support it, he doesn't really see a big problem with it. And I disagree with him on that, but whatever, to each his own. But then to hear Kirk kind of reverse it and said, well, no, in this professional setting with grown-ass adults in fucking Barstool Sports office, it's not okay to have scantily clothed women dance around in the studio. And then he said it's kind of okay to have children go to these drag shows. And it's kind of like you have an opinion on the Barstool Sports thing, but then you're gonna kind of walk the line on this children going to strip show thing. Like I said earlier, I know that makes me sound like Jerry Callahan, and you're right, it does make me sound like Jerry Callahan. But I do think that's a little bit of an inconsistency. I mean, it's not a big fucking deal. I'm not gonna die on that hill. The guys start talking about Biden being a bumbling idiot. The sound quickly turns to Mike just being shit-faced at the live show. And I think it was Madawaska. Some of those clips we haven't heard in a long time. They are so fucking funny. Dave not being able to find the clips that we're all used to hearing in a roundabout way, that worked out to be a good thing because we got to hear some shit that we haven't heard in a while. Dave just not being able to find the clips that Kirk was looking for, you know, shocker there. The guys briefly touch on Aaron Judge being tied, I think, for 7th all-time home run list. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit that Aaron Judge is now tied for 7th? Does anyone give a shit? It's funny to see baseball just make a story out of nothing. On one hand, they refuse to get rid of these steroid guys, and on the other hand, they're doing something like this where they're basically saying that these guys are the real home run kings. Typical fucking bullshit with the MLB. Just trying to draw up some ratings. While we're keeping on the subject of baseball, Don Arcillo called his 3,000th game. And it is funny, like Kirk said, not to repeat shit that Kirk said, but it is funny. It's like, there's people in the stands who go to fucking work every day. A fucking nurse who just had to kill themselves during COVID, and they go to the fucking game as a relax, as an escape. And they get to hear the announcement over the loudspeaker that Don Arcillo has sat his fat fucking ass in a studio for years and being treated like a pampered little baby. And yes, congratulations, Don. You sat in a microphone and talked for 3,000 games. What a fucking accomplishment. Then the guys briefly touch on the No Mercy podcast. When it debuted, like most podcasts do, it was way high up on the charts. And now it's sitting at 108th on the charts, sitting next to Megyn Kelly and Dan Le Batard. So Stephen A. Smith, he's dropping fast. So then we get to the calls. The calls were all right at best. The Nicolas Cage call continues to be fucking great. That guy is so funny. The Rico call was wild. So then the guys are finishing up one topic. And Dave just blurts out, "She put a condom on the microphone." And the guys are like, "What the fuck are you talking about? She put a condom on the microphone." This reporter's just standing there. She's got a condom on the microphone. She's speaking to the microphone. And it's got the little, what do they call that on a condom? Jesus Christ, reservoir tip. It's got a little reservoir tip on the top of it. And that's basically what she's speaking into. Like she's gonna flick out her tongue and lick it a little bit. That's what I was waiting for, because I'm a sick son of a bitch. I feel like when you see someone do something like that, like they were definitely trying to get noticed. I know Dave and Kirk and Mike thinks that that was just someone having a brilliant idea, but to me, that seems like someone like, how can we go viral? How can we get our news station to go viral on the internet? And of course, let's just put a fucking raincoat over the microphone and then hold it right up to this woman's mouth, this phallic-shaped object with a rubber on it. We're gonna hold up to this hot chick's mouth. It's like, yeah, no shit that was done on purpose. That wasn't just some brilliant idea to stop the microphone from getting wet. So now we're moving on to Sunday's recap. I mean, I'm biased. I love all KMS shows. I think they're all great, but this show is really funny. Kirk was in a fucking mood and he came out like a maniac. Show starts off on Sunday. Boys are going to New York this week for trivia. I believe they're going up for Thursday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Look out for that. Seems like they're doing a show with Rico Bosco. So that should be cool. I think Rico and Kirk and Dave, that should be a fun show. We learned that intern Harrison is on double secret probation. Apparently he sent out a tweet that Kirk didn't like. Kirk said that intern Harrison will be fired and Dave says no. So when Kirk's all fired up, he touches on the fact that Justin went to Carabas's watch-along party. And he said that Justin can go fuck himself for pretending to be sad all the time. Just fucking Kirk fired up. I loved it. So Kirk's still on a roll. Dave tries to pivot to Mike and he says, "Hey Mike, how was the Brendan Schaub show?" And Kirk goes, "I don't give a shit about the Brendan Schaub show." He says, "Why don't you talk about it in the car ride home?" Mike brings his friends, his fans to the show. They go see this awful comedian, Brendan Schaub, who sucks. Even Joe Rogan's now shitting on his stand-up. Conversation pivots to a show where I guess Kirk was trying to get tickets for one of his good friends from high school. And Barstool Sports gives no fucks about Kirk. Basically says, "We can't get nothing for you. You can take your Rough and Rowdy promotion, you can take your live show money, and you can stick it right up your ass, Kirk. We're not even gonna give you 2 fucking tickets to some shitty fucking show no one wants to see." Completely understand why Kirk does some of the stupid shit he does to these Barstool staff. Being a fan of the show, it's hard not to hate these motherfuckers. It's funny that when they need Kirk, when they want to use him as a springboard, when they want to get some eyeballs and have a crazy villain, he's there. I think I can smell something coming, I think something's coming down the pike with a big blow up. I think Kirk's gonna fucking burst like a volcano pretty soon. So right about now, we not only get reminded that Dave still hates gay people, but we also get reminded that Dave stole Patriots tickets. It's like, how much fucking skis ball shit is this scumbag gonna pull? But he's a producer, they're all built the same. They're all built the same. We'll learn that pretty soon. So then the guys start talking about Jeff D. Lowe's penis size. His dick size comes up. I guess there's a picture that looks like Jeff D. Lowe has a fucking hanger. I suggest everyone goes back to this part of Sunday Night Show and listen to Dave Cullinane. He's like despondent, talking about Jeff D. Lowe's cock. I didn't pick up on it at the time. I didn't really notice it, but after listening to the YouTube show from today, it makes a lot of sense now why Dave seemed a little depressed talking about Jeff D. Lowe's cock. So we'll touch on that later. Racist Lou Merlone comes up. I guess Lou was fucking drunk. He sent the tweet out when someone got hurt on the football field and basically said that it was gang signs. Like it was some young black dude flashing gang signs. He didn't quite say that, but that's basically what he was trying to say. I guess he quickly deleted it and he blamed it on being drunk and whatever the fuck he said. Who cares? One of the things I disagree with Kirk on is he says that one of the reasons the Lou Merlone thing didn't blow up into a huge story is because he's part of a protected class. And I believe that's partly true. The reason no one gives a shit about what Lou Merlone says, whether it's racist or not, is because the fucking dude doesn't know how to draw a rating to save his life. He's never drawn a rating on the radio, unless Kirk was the lead-in show before his. The Red Sox broadcasts in general, whether Lou's on it or not, get dog shit ratings. His Comcast shows get dog shit ratings. His radio show now gets dog shit ratings. So Kirk, that's the reason why the Lou Merlone story didn't blow up, is because Lou Merlone's irrelevant. And he wouldn't have said that if those guys were white. If those guys were white, that wouldn't have made no fucking sense. The only reason Lou said it was probably because he was drunk and probably because he's racist. I mean, look at his partner. His partner hates Asians, right? What did that person say about Bill Burr's wife? That like Bill Burr was enslaving her or something like that? How do we know that Lou Merlone's partner is not doing that the same thing with his Asian wife? Just throwing it out there. I don't know. I mean, the guy does a horrible fucking impression, I can tell you that. They briefly touch on SNL sucking. It was so bad. Part of me when I was watching it at first was wondering if it was supposed to be bad. Like if it was so bad that that was the point and then at some point it was gonna get funny. But that never happened. It's one of those things that you truly do wonder, how does that ever make it on film? How the fuck does someone put money behind that? Because that show is literally at an all-time low. SNL is fucking terrible. Real quick too, the guys are talking about some movie, I guess has like a gay plot line. Dave's supposed to be going to see that tonight. So I'm curious to see on the next show, which will be Wednesday, if Dave is going to see this show Tuesday night. Greg Gutfeld comes up. He absolutely body bagged Trevor Noah. And he takes credit for body bagging, what was it? Was it Brian Stelter, I think he said? Yeah. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Gutfeld. Your fucking ratings are dog shit too, you unfunny little fucking dwarf. Brian Stelter didn't get his knees clipped until he went after Joe Rogan and he embarrassed himself. It had nothing to do with Greg Gutfeld. It had to do with he fucking opened his mouth and he inserted his fucking foot. For the second time this show, Jeff D. Lowe's penis comes up and Dave says, again, direct quote, a second time this episode when Jeff D. Lowe's dick comes up and a depressed, despondent Dave Cullinane responds. Dave says, quote, like a little kid who just dropped his fucking ice cream in a warm summer day, he says, he would, quote, give anything for people to talk about his penis like this, end quote. Tuck that away. Just remember that. We'll get to that later. The guys briefly touch on the Jordan Peterson, Piers Morgan clip. I don't give a shit about Jordan Peterson. I actually used to listen to Jordan Peterson when he first came out, and I gave a shit about a lot of the stuff he talked about before I just got bored of it. I don't have a problem with Jordan Peterson. I think he says a lot of stupid shit sometimes, but everyone who talks for a living says stupid shit. He's admitted he said stupid shit. So I don't have any problem with the guy. This is what makes me laugh about the left and the right. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, probably more than that, Piers Morgan was the, I think it was CNN, he was the left darling that went after all these fucking righties. Now, much like Bill Maher, Piers Morgan is now a darling on the right. I don't know if you guys remember the famous video where Piers Morgan got body bagged by Jesse the Body Ventura. And it was like this famous gun control debate. It was a boring clip. But it's like if you would have gone back in time and told people that, you know, 12, 15 years from now, he's going to be in a primetime slot on Fox News, people would have thought you were fucking crazy. Happy birthday, Kathy Cullinane. She turned 70. We learned how much Dave doesn't give a flying fuck about her when he doesn't even know what his sister bought his mother for her birthday. This woman raised his children. Although that being said, maybe drunk slurring Kathy Cullinane's the one that's got this potty mouth. Maybe we got it all wrong. Maybe it's not Dave Cullinane teaching this little terror how to swear in school. And maybe it's that fucking alcoholic that's, you know, saying these bad words in front of little cute little baby Cullinane. If we see Dave's daughter smoking those fake candy cigarettes, all I gotta say is I don't fucking know nothing. It wasn't me, I didn't have nothing to do with it. That's all I gotta say. Dave gets really defensive at this point. Kirk calls him a dick, and then he says, no, you're a dick. Fuck you. Freaking Dave just really getting hit on the nerve, just Kirk really touching that sore spot. Obviously, Dave is very self-conscious about being a shitty dad. I guess that's a good sign. I mean, if he didn't give a shit, then his daughter would be like going to school, fucking swearing at the teacher and stuff. So it's obvious that he's a really good dad. So good for Dave. Dave trying to save the end of the show because the calls sucked, has this bright idea where he's gonna offer up a Shark Tank show that he just came up with on the spot. He didn't really put much thought into it, obviously, because when he gets called out for just basically wanting to blow Kirk's money, he goes, oh, no, that's not what I was trying to say. And then Mike's like, yeah, that's basically what you were trying to say. And then he kind of asked to admit it, and he basically says, hey guys, I'm just trying to throw shit at the wall. There's no such thing as bad ideas. Dave proving that theory wrong. The Young and the Restless comes up to close out Sunday's show. Dave said he's gonna learn the piano version of The Young and the Restless, which should be fucking awesome. awesome. I can't wait for that. And then I was shocked to hear that Young and the Restless gets 3 million views during the day. 3 million. Remember, we just talked about Jimmy Kimmel, who had a good month averaging less than 500,000 views a night. Maybe I should stop making wrap-up shows for the fucking Young and the Restless. Probably get more views. So now we're gonna touch on the YouTube show from today. The guys are in studio working on the case stuff. Kirk, as he's been doing, because he's in the studio, graciously giving us free content. Kirk doesn't get enough credit for that. It was basically a call show, but the guys bring up 2 topics I wanted to touch on real quick. The first thing we'll talk about will be the FBI story. I'll get you guys caught up to that. I fucking opened up my mouth, not even thinking that this would be a thing, and of course, I should have known better. When I first started doing these videos, a bunch of people were nice to me. There was a few shitty people, but whatever, it didn't matter. So then I get on the Kirk Minahan show itself, and right after that, that's when I started getting the death threats online, which were fine. I wasn't used to them, but I thought it was shocking that some of the shit people were saying. But the death threats honestly didn't bother me. Like a day or 2 after I was on KMS, 2 things happened to me that I literally can't talk about. I was told that I literally can't discuss. It wasn't online harassment. There were 2 things in real life. And I didn't really think of it at the time. I knew one of them was a crime, obviously, but I didn't really think about the ramifications of it or what have you. My main concern about it was not for my safety. I'm not worried about myself. Anyone who lives up in rural Maine knows that you don't go fucking around on people's property up here, because this isn't a joke. I'm not trying to make myself sound like a badass. It's the fucking truth. Steve Robertson said it on the show before all the time. I know he's full of shit, but he's not about this. You'll get fucking shot up here. People get shot up here all the fucking time. It happens. As I can literally hear something walking through the woods right behind me. Oh, it's a little birdie. People get shot up here all the time. People get stabbed up here all the time on people's property. It's usually some like drug related bullshit, but it happens all the time up here. I was shocked when I moved up here. I was under the impression that this place had no crime, but there is a lot of stupid shit like that. So I wasn't gonna go to the police, but the reason I did go to the police when these 2 things happened was because I was honestly worried about some Minifan doing something and me fucking shooting and killing a Minifan. No bullshit. That was the honest reason why I went to the cops. So think about trying to explain the Kirk Minahan show to the police. Now trying to explain the Kirk Minahan wrap-up show that covers the Kirk Minahan show to the police. But they were really cool about it. They were really good to me. They made me feel better about the whole thing. They said they were gonna make a few phone calls because they didn't have certain resources that other bigger police departments had where they could do an investigation. So I didn't expect nothing of it. I get a phone call from one of the cops that I talked to. I get a phone call from him like less than a week later. I want to say it was 5 to 6 days later. He basically comes right out and says, and he kind of, not laughed, but you could tell that he was kind of shocked. And I literally said, "Are you fucking serious?" I said to the guy on the phone when he said this. He goes, "Due to what you provided us, and the fact that technically the crime is federal in nature, and even though most of the time it's a misdemeanor and it kind of gets thrown out," but he said basically when they reached out to the state police because they had certain resources that they didn't, I guess next thing you know, the fucking FBI got involved because it's a federal thing and it falls under federal jurisdiction. Because there were online threats involved, they decided to escalate it to the FBI. So I get a phone call from this local cop like a week later, basically saying that they went to the Stadies for help to do an investigation, and somehow they didn't know, but the FBI got involved. So apparently I inadvertently opened up an FBI investigation into the criminal activities that were done to me. So that is the whole FBI story. You can believe it, you can not believe it. I don't really give a fuck. If you actually sit down and think about it, you could probably figure out what happened. It's not as devious as I'm making it sound, but again, I can't talk about it specifically. I don't know if I'm gonna go on any of those shows. I just don't know. I know by talking about it, I'm probably gonna get more of it now because it literally went away like that. After I went to the police, it went away. I'm sure it'll come back now, but I was asked about it. They brought it up on the main show, so I felt like I had to tell you guys about it. But at the same time, I really don't want to fucking shoot a Minifan in my front yard. Sorry, but I will say to any of you crazy motherfuckers out there, I am strapped 24/7. So, just letting you know. So then, the big reveal, the big revealing moment, I think the most telling moment of Dave Cullinane's life comes up. And I felt so conflicted at this moment. I wanted to laugh hysterically, which I did. I felt bad for the guy. I pulled like a Sigmund Freud type bullshit, and I was like, oh, like, this makes a lot of fucking sense now. Everything makes sense now about Dave Cullinane. How he acts, his snakish nature, the fact that like sometimes you could tell he gets intimidated by men who are like kind of outspoken and who stand their ground. That's why he wants to surround himself with Harrisons and Justins and even Blind Mikes to some extent. He just surrounds himself by these kind of meager fucking people, to put it fucking bluntly. And why someone like me he definitely doesn't get along with, because I'm not some little dick little bitch like he tends to congregate with, obviously, in his personal life. So, we learn that Dave, self-admittedly, is one step away from having a micro penis. Holy shit, is that fucking news. I mean, doesn't that make everything make sense to you guys now? His behavior, his psychopathy that he has in his little fucking pea brain, all of it, it makes complete sense now. But one thing that I kind of am mad about, and I should have known this, was, you know, those cupcake videos he sent me were obviously fake. And I should have realized it was a giant black penis. It kind of looked like Antonio Brown's penis. And I should have noticed that, but, you know, who's to say? How do I know what Dave's packing downstairs? Who's to say? My God, was that revealing. And just the way he said it, too. Just the way he revealed to the whole universe that he has like a really small dick. Oh my God, like I was so proud of him too. Like, good for you, Dave. Like, wear that with a fucking badge of honor. And this is just a purely hypothetical. This isn't about Dave Cullinane. You do have to question, like, hypothetically speaking, when a woman first starts dating a man, right? And she sees that he has a small dick, you wonder, like, why would she stick around? Like, is he really that nice? You know, like this hypothetical situation, was that person like really like that successful that early on, where it's like, man, he can't fuck good, but whew, this dude's going to be making like 40K a year having to dress up like some fucking animal at some radio station. So I'll put up with that needle dick, but man, this guy's gonna be something someday. I don't know. It does, like I said though, it says so much about the son of a bitch. Fucking Dave Cullinane and his micro penis. Oh, just the way he said it. Yeah, I'm like one step away from having a... Oh, that's the fucking greatest. Dave has a little tiny fucking pecker. Oh my God, that is so fucking funny. Oh my God, how fucking pathetic must Dave Cullinane be in the bedroom? Hey Dave, make sure you strap a fucking 2x4 to your ass so you don't fall in, okay? Here Dave, I got plenty right here. Yeah, here you go Dave. Just like this, all right? So that way you don't fall in. You don't want to fall in, Dave, because then you might not ever be able to come out. You fucking micro penis fucking loser. Jesus Christ, Dave Cullinane. Says so much about you. You fucking douchebag. You little dick fucking douchebag. My God. Do you guys remember the Howard Stern? I can't remember the exact details. It was, he had the competition for the guys with the smallest penis, the micro penis. And then I'm pretty sure one of them, he had sleep with this chick. I want to say she was like a tennis star or something like that, and she wanted fake tits. And so she basically had to sleep with this guy in a porn in order to get Stern to pay for her tits. I'm wondering if we could get Cullinane to do something like that. I mean, if we can get the old lady to give him a hall pass, she obviously doesn't give a fuck about fucking, or else she wouldn't be with this fucking needle dick loser. So, like, let's get this prick a hall pass. Let's see if, hey, maybe if Dave bangs Maitland Ward in the ass with his needle dick, maybe Kirk will pay for his fucking hair treatment or something like that. I think that'd be a really fun little porno to watch. Oh my God, fucking micro penis Dave Cullinane. Holy shit. You guys have no idea how much I enjoyed that. Thank you, Dave, for sharing that with the world. It means so much to me to know that my pinky finger is bigger than your cock. So again, Dave Cullinane, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. Be proud of that little guy. Wear that fucking thing small and proud, Dave Cullinane. That's the recap of the main shows. So a couple things I just want to talk about real quick. I got some seats I want to give away for the live show. I'm gonna need your guys' help with this. I got a couple things I want to try and plan with you guys, so I'm gonna need your help. So I got 2 sets of tickets for the live show. I was thinking maybe we could raffle them off a charity. I'd like to do something like that, but then the show's kind of done that before, so I'm looking for some interesting ideas. If you have anything, reach out, KMS Reloaded on Twitter, and just shoot me a DM with your good ideas. I also got 2 tickets for the show, VIP tickets. My idea for that is this. Kirk Minhan said he wanted to do a dating show in studio, and I think that's a good idea, and I want to do it, and I want to get the guys' help to do it. So Dave, even though I just shit on your little dick, I'm gonna need your help. So basically what I'd like to do is I think we're gonna have to limit it to the New England area. Any women interested being on the show, either I go through them or take it completely out of my hands, have Dave go through them or whatever. We'll try to figure that out. I'll drive to each of the prospective people. I'll bring this camera and we'll film some type of like lunch date. We'll keep it really low key. And then we'll find a way to eliminate people, and then we'll do the finals sometime near the live show in the studio. And the winner, I'll take them out to dinner. They'll get to go VIP with me at the live show, yada, yada, yada. If no women reach out, obviously we're gonna have to open that up to men. I think it would be really funny to keep it like a dating show. You know, I think of like the idea of no women reaching out for this because they think I'm a fucking creep or something like that. So then it's like me and Tim and I like give him roses or something like that. You guys would probably enjoy that more. I would not, no offense, Tim. So hopefully there's some women Minifans out there interested in this. If you are, again, reach out, KMS Reloaded on Twitter. We have a few months to get this going, but I'd like to get it started soon to see if anyone's even interested in this shit. If no one reaches out, then I'm not gonna do any of this. So it's on you guys. If you wanna see some of this, let's get going. And lastly, I want to talk about this. I'll float this out there to you guys as well. I tried to record an episode of KMS Reloaded at the State Theater. No one responded to my voicemails and emails, which I understand, completely fine. However, I would like to film something in Portland, Maine before it gets too fucking cold. I would like to film it with you guys. So I'm thinking around Halloween time, I'm thinking Saturday, October 30th. Any Minifans who want to drive up or in the area, let's go to Portland, Maine. There's a speakeasy called Lincoln's that's hidden that I know where it is, and maybe we could turn that into a thing where you guys can try and find it. There's Duck Fat we can go to that's got the best poutine around, so we can go there. We can film you guys can help me film a recap. We can go all over Portland, and I don't know, who knows, maybe we can make a travel guide or something stupid like that for anyone who goes to the live show in March. So, big show today, a lot to get to. I hope someone's watching this fucking mess. And I will see you guys in Dave Needle Dick Cullinane next time on KMS Reloaded.
No big deal, no hard feelings. Good luck. Fuck you!